5-in-1 blades. Hate these. This is what they look like on the back. Hate them for a couple of reasons, but I'll show you how I deal with them and how I sharpen them. You see how this slides back and forth so you can cut close or far away. So its idea is that it cuts like 5 different blades in one. All of this is plastic, easy to break. The big problem is the comb is a fairly decent steel, and I can sharpen that on my clipper machine, but it's the cutter. This one is a really light aluminum. If you're going to be dealing with these, I would suggest that you have these parts so that if you lose them or break them in the sharpening, you can replace them. So let's take it apart. You're going to have a special tool. So this is a star bit number. Oh man, that's hard to read. Looks like a T10. And the other problem I have with these is I really don't have a clipper to test them on. So that can be an issue too. There's some other videos on the internet with people who have more experience and sharpen more of these than I do. And I would suggest you watch them as well. But this is how I tackle them, which really is different than what I've seen other people do. But it works. So I'm going to clean that out a little bit. And this is the blade that's a problem. I'm using a teeny tiny screwdriver to gently pry this off so I don't break any of these little plastic parts. And that came out. Brush all this hair off. So this slides up and down. If you've got too much curvature between the two, it's not going to cut right. So they need to be pretty flat, both of them. So I'm going to put this on my clipper machine, work it on the outside. This one, I'm going to do like I did my ceramic blade. And I'm going to sharpen it by hand. Start with the coarse side. And I don't even have to take it all the way apart. Because one of the problems with putting this on your clipper home is it can overheat, because this is just really thin aluminum. And I don't want this to overheat. The other thing is to replace it. And what I'm looking at is looking to see if my grind lines are pretty well straight up and down. And they're not. I'm going to work it a little bit more. That looks better. Flipping it over to fine. And that looks good. Looking once again to see if and I'm sure you can't see that in the camera, but I'm looking to see if my grind marks cover that whole surface here and up here, and that they're up and down, and there's not any little pieces that look like they've been missed. That looks pretty good. So let me set this aside and go to the machine and then put these back together. So I've sharpened these, cleaned them off, brushed them off, and I'm going to reassemble them. I usually charge more. I charged her $13 on these, whereas normally I charge $9 for clipper blades. A little bit of oil. Now the fun part is putting this back together. Alright, when you get it assembled, double check it, make sure it slides back and forth. And, as I said, I don't have a way to test it. I may ask her if she brings her clippers, we can test them when they're here, but they look good. They feel good. And they are what they are. You can choose to walk away from them or not, but if you do sharpen them, it's that little small cutter that's such a problem. So now you understand why I hate these. Hope she brings her clippers with her so I can test them out. I don't do enough of these to warrant me to have a clipper to test them. You see them mostly with groomers, and most of my business is barbers and stylists. But if you're doing a lot of groomers, if you get familiar with these and want to piddle with them, then this is my method of sharpening them.